Welcome to this submission for Games Done Quick. I'm Joseph Joestar316 and I'll be running GoldenEye on Nintendo Switch Online via the N64 expansion pack. I'll be running all the missions from Dam to Cradle on Agent difficulty. The time will start once I confirm the start of the first mission, and it'll end on the last mission of Cradle as it fades out after defeating Trevelyan. And the time will start in 3, 2, 1, go. So running this on the Nintendo Switch is unique over the original hardware for the N64 because it has a slightly faster frame rate, so it runs smoother. Unfortunately, the control scheme is not exactly friendly given its conversion factor, but thanks to an adapter I have, I don't have to worry about that that issue. And as you can see, I'm running on an angle where I'm moving both up and right together. And this diagonal strafing is a movement that's going to be done throughout the whole game. Because moving in a diagonal like this makes you run faster as opposed to running, forwards or backwards. Also, nice shot on that lock. So, since we're running this on Agent, our only objective is to really get to the end of the level by jumping off the dam. Which will be coming up in just a little bit here. Okay, and that is the dam stage. Alright, so for facility, there's a little bit more to it than just reaching the end of the level, which we do need to. But first, we need to get out of this ventilation duct and then get down to this guard, which has a keycard B that we need to, proceed throughout the rest of the level. And then in the meantime, I'm just going to shoot this door to unlock it faster from within. And then this is the door that opens from that terminal. Alright, so since we're running on Agent, we don't have to worry about finding Dr. Doak, getting his door decoder, and the RNG that goes with him. So instead, we're just going to make a lot of noise with the AK, and guards will open up the door from the other side. Since guards can apparently open any doors they want, and we'll use that to our benefit. Alright, so here's the door, which thankfully for Agent doesn't need the door decoder. There's our Comrade-at-Arms 006. And then we're gonna rig these gas tanks with explosives. Now I'm gonna play this safe and wait for Trevelyan to move away from the gas tanks before I detonate it. Since the explosion can reach him if he's too close, so I'm gonna detonate it now. And that is the end of facility. Alright, so for runway, it's even simpler. Grab key, get in plane. Well, I wish it was that simple, but I'll explain why I have reservations about that. So, yes, we got the key, but the trick of it is not exactly running to the end of this runway without dying, but it's running to the end of the runway without this plane blowing up, which is a solemn prayer that you make it without the plane getting destroyed, because you got everything shooting at you from guards to automated turrets. And thank goodness it didn't blow up on this run. But it has blown up on me countless occasions, and it's an annoying reset. So for Surface 1, we need to disable the communications dish by powering it off via a terminal. And we have to get through a access hatch to get into the bunker complex. So for now, it's a race to the end of the, well, not to the end of the level, but to the comms tower. And once again, we're doing the same type of diagonal strafing. So, and here is the terminal, which will power it down. And then we're going to make our way up to this ladder over here, where it has a upper hatch. which is locked in with 4 padlocks. Okay, so I'm just gonna shoot these off one at a time. Alright, so a little bit slow on shooting the locks up, but nevertheless, pretty straightforward. Alright, so for Bunker 1, we just need to do 2 things. One is to grab the GoldenEye key and to take a picture of the screen from the inside. But first we need to get a security card so we can actually exit the stage. Alright, we're gonna pull up our handy-dandy Q watch so we can get a picture of the screen in the room. Swap to the key analyzer while ignoring all the chaos going on around me. Copy the GoldenEye key, throw it away, and then we'll exit out of here. Alright, so for Silo, this one's gonna be a little bit challenging. As, of course, like before, it is a race to the end of the level, but the way that it's gonna be done is what's going to be challenging. Is I want to try to get there preferably without collecting any of the key cards from the scientists, which give you access to these fuel rooms. So we're just going to use these guards to open the doors for us, you know, when we need them to, which is primarily for the fuel rooms. So for safety, I'm gonna grab this body armor. It's not really needed, but it's just for marathon safety. Alright, so again, I'm just trying to take out these guys as best I can so they're not in the way. Excuse me. This last door here is where it gets tricky because there's times where it doesn't want to open, no matter what you do. And I'm basically gonna pray that it opens, which it did. Yeah, so getting in here where the GoldenEye satellite is the challenge because, like I said, having the guards open this door from the inside is the problem. Sometimes they just don't do it. So with that out of the way, we can just race Urim off to the end of the level. And hop in this elevator and on we go. Alright, so for Frigate, we have to do 2 things, which is rescue a few of the hostages on the ship and planting a tracker bug on the helicopter in the towards the rear. So first thing I'm gonna do is, well, save the hostage through unconventional means. I mean, no worries, fine. Alright, so we're just clearing a way to the next room with 2 hostages in it. Alright, so with that should be enough to satisfy the requirement for the hostages, and now we need to plant the tracker bug. Alright, so that completes that objective, and I'm just gonna wait for a confirmation from the hostages, which there it is. And then we hop back aboard the boat we came in. Alright, so a revisit to Surface, for Surface 2. Same area, requirements for the objectives are a little bit different, and as you can see, it's darker. We're at night. This was one of the levels growing up that I hated playing because it was so hard to see when trying to play it. But thankfully, just, you know, through, experience, we know where to go. So once again, we're gonna be going into the comms tower dish, but first we need to get a key in order to, or actually, no, wait, I take that back, that's secret agent. On secret agent, you need the key, but on agent, we can bypass that step because we have this remote mine, provided you're destroying the helicopter outside the bunker, but instead, we're gonna use that mine to blow up the terminal. I'm just trying to see if I can see the window. All right, there it is. So throwing the mine at that window will destroy the equipment that's in that room, satisfying that objective, and now we just have to make our way into the bunker itself. And see, there's the helicopter, which is normally what the that remote mine's used for. All right, and we're in, but except we got captured. It was a trap. But not to worry, good old Q gave us some handy-dandy gadgets after all, which is a magnet within the Q watch, which will grab the key, open the door, karate chop this guy, and then we're gonna free Natalia, and we're just gonna make a run to the end of the level. Okay, one of these guys I hope had the key, but yeah, one of these guys has the key so I can exit, and I think it might have been yeah, sometimes that happens. Yeah, I tend to get a little trigger happy with the AK, so we're gonna do that again. So same deal, we're just gonna grab the key, take out this guard, unlock the door. Alright, so this time I'm gonna go directly to where the key is instead of the tape, because we do need this key card to actually leave the stage. Alright, there's the VHS tape. Which, fun fact, actually has the cover of the VHS tape for the movie GoldenEye. Alright, and out we go. Oh yeah, don't worry about Natalia. She caught up during all of that somehow. Alright, so for statue, fairly straightforward mission. We have to race towards where Valentine is, who's going to give us intel on where to find Yanis. You know, who we're going to find out who they really are in just a couple minutes. So thankfully Valentine's in the same spot each time, which is in this red container here. And then what we're going to do while he's talking is we're going to kind of like weave side to side, which is going to make him like shift forward each time we turn. Doing this will just allow me to, you know, move further along into the stage without just waiting for this conversation to end. Also like to call this the Valentine Shuffle, because it looks like he's dancing while we're talking. Alright, so once he says he's got to leave, we'll do the same. And then, so he basically told us that we have to go up to this statue in order to get Yanis to appear. Wait a minute. Could it be? No, it can't be. Yanis is Trevelyan? Wait a minute, but I thought he died in the facility. I know, shocker. So thankfully you don't have to wait out this whole conversation. You just need to wait for this part where he says, yes, you know, the MI6 hero back from the dead. And we're like, okay, see you later. You know, imagine if that's how it took place in the movie where, you know, you get this big reveal that not only did he survive, but he's Yanis, and then James is like, okay, see you later. I know, it doesn't make it quite as suspenseful and dramatic, but So now we have to go back to the beginning of the level, because a helicopter that we put the tracker bug on appeared. Natalia was placed next to it, and it's got an explosive rid to explode in 3 minutes, which thankfully doesn't take nearly as long to get back. So as we approach Natalia to revive her, proximity circuit gets triggered, which shortens the time down to 15 seconds, which again is more than enough time. So while we're waiting for the chopper to explode, we need a recorder box to be collected, and it can spawn in several places here. The best spawn is right in front of me, which unfortunately I did not get. Like I said, it's random. Alright, so I got it back here. So not the worst spawn, but ideally, like I said, you want it as close to you as you can. And then we'll race back here. Oh man, you've got to be kidding me. We're captured again. Well, if we can get captured, we can escape, as the thing goes. So, we're gonna do just that. We're just gonna go up to this guard, tap him on the back so we get the key. Alright, and we're just gonna make our way out of here. But first, we're gonna have to get Natalia, who is behind this door. You don't have to take out the guard, you just have to go in, and then she just, James! Alright, and then you just race to the end of the level, which we're gonna go through this section here. Alright, we're gonna say hi and bye to Michigan, since we don't really need to talk to him on Agent. And then we go through this library, shoot out the glass, and just jog on out of there. So for streets, as you guessed it, it's a race to the end of the level. Casually, I always loved playing this stage because it's got the tank again like it was in Runway. Unfortunately, it's really not that much better than running, so we're just gonna run to the end of the level. But yeah, casually, I always liked using the tank. It was just kind of like something where you break apart from like the standard gameplay and just make it more of a a tank battle thing. Alright, so really the biggest threat to me in this level are not the guards with the guns, not the civilians that run around randomly, but the rocket launchers, because even though we're on Agent, those rockets still hurt a lot. And we're gonna do our best to avoid them as much as possible. Alright, so we're gonna run over this anti-tank minefield. Dodge the rockets. Okay, I'm gonna grab this body armor just because I just don't trust the rocket launchers to behave. Alright, and that is the end of that stage. Followed by a set of explosions trailing behind him. So Tipo couldn't be any simpler. Yep, race to the end of the level. And we'll do just that. So we're gonna ignore all the guards, just go directly to where the armored train is. Alright, which is through here. Okay, we're gonna lift up this door, and there we are. Alright, now train is one of my favorite levels in this run, because we get to use a really neat weapon to clear the way. Alright, and we're gonna try to get that right away here. So, and those two boxes hold a P90, one of the best weapons of the game. And this thing is just a bullet hose. Clears anything it touches, including all these boxes in here, especially with the aim assist. You know, it just clears everything in your way. And the nice thing about this weapon is it uses the same weapon as the MP5s that the guards have, so you're continuously replenishing your ammo, just going across here. destroy all these locks as I have been doing, which is gonna bring the train to a stop. Alright, then we're gonna come in and then shoot Urim off. And Xenia, just because I felt like it. And then we're gonna use our Q-Watch laser to take off these locks, which is holding this panel in place. Alright, and with nothing else, we're just gonna run on out of here. You know, since on Agent, we don't need to hack the security, figure out what the passcode is and all that. We just need to escape the train. Which, by the way, I like it when Trevelyan says, good luck with the floor, James. It shouldn't take more than a minute, but we're already gone. So I always thought that was comical. So for jungle, we're going to be using the AR-33, which, like the AK, shoots off 3-round bursts. Except the AR-33 is deadlier than the AK. And at the same time, we're going to be tasked with taking out these automated turrets, along with somebody who I thought I took out, but turns out they survived. Seems to be an ongoing theme with this game. Alright, so Natalia is following us, you know, right behind me as I'm, you know, clearing the way of these turrets. And then I'm gonna grab not only yellow, but this body armor. Alright, so remember when I said I shot Xenia because I felt like it? Well, it turns out she didn't really like that, so she's the boss fight here, which we're just going to wait patiently for her to appear. Alright, we're going to aim between these trees. And that's Xenia. Alright, so I'll take out another turret right there. Alright, there's another turret, or 2 turrets up here. Alright, now we just run to the end of the level where the elevator is. And again, don't worry about Natalia. Somehow she caught up. You know, and neutralized any guards that were, you know, left behind. Alright, so this is the longest mission in the run, which is Control. It's also the one I, you know, don't enjoy doing personally. But thankfully, we'll try our best to make this as smooth as possible. Alright, so we're gonna take out the guards. Natalia's gonna say, hey, you were wonderful. Alright, so we need her to go to this wall pewter, as I call it, to unlock this door in the corner. But before we do anything else, gotta get our complimentary smiley face in the run. And the thing about this door is you gotta be next to Natalia in order for her to open it. If you stay right by it, it does nothing. It's a weird trigger. Alright, so we're gonna grab these remote mines, which we're gonna need to blow up these mainframe computers. Oh yeah, remember that guy from the bunker? You know, the one with the GoldenEye key? Yep, there he is. Oh yeah, don't mind me, he's just looking after the computers. But he's not that great with handguns, so he's clumsy and drops it. Gives me some free ammo. So I planted those remote mines there specifically so that not only do they blow up the mainframe terminals, but the guards that are spawned above them. So it's kind of a, 2-for-1 deal. And then next I'm gonna blow out some of these glass windows here, along with more of these terminals. So these automated turrets are why I really dislike this mission, along with what's going to be coming up for the next part of this mission here, which is protecting Natalia while she disables the, the security so she can access the GoldenEye satellite controls so she can, alter its orbit. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna destroy that desk, so I get this, unique cover position, because guards are gonna be spawning in through those stairs, through the doors, and even at times, like, on these corners, just out of thin air. Yeah, like I said, out of thin air. Alright, so we're just gonna take them out as they appear, preferably as soon as possible, since we need to protect Natalia. Oh yeah, here's another funny moment where she's like, could you be a little more quieter, James? I can't hear myself think. Oh yeah, my mistake, Natalia. I forgot to grab the MP5 with a silencer on it. Like continuously scanning for guards that are appearing. It's like I said, sometimes they can come in through that door or through the other one on the other side, as well as the ones that show up out of thin air. They're the ones I despise the most because they're really hard to catch. I think that was a grenade. It's like anytime you hear like this dinking sound from a distance, that's like the worst thing you ever want to hear, because it's always a grenade. Alright, so she's done with altering the satellite's orbit. Alright, so we're gonna escort her out and, save a little bit of time with opening this door for her so she doesn't have to stop. Or never mind, she's just gonna go the long way around for reasons unknown. Maybe she didn't get the idea that we're doing a speed run here. Thanks, Natalia, but you're too slow. Okay, so we got one more mainframe terminal to destroy before we leave, which is this one right here. Alright, just gonna wait for the confirmation that Natalia's left before we hop in this elevator to exit the stage. Alright, and that's it. Shoutouts to the elevator music in GoldenEye. Okay, so for caverns, it's a race to the end of the level, but the only way to make this possible is to race Trevelyan along with it, since at the beginning of this level, all the doors are open. and they lock behind Trevelyan as he races through, so we want to do our best to keep up with him so that we don't have to go through these doors, whether if I have to open them myself or through the use of key cards, which we don't want that, right? Because we don't need to do any other objectives other than just reaching the end of the level, which means no inlet pump controls I gotta destroy, no contacting Jack Wade, you know, and all that. So we should be coming up to him in a little bit. So he's running just ahead of me there. Hey, sup, Trevelyan? See you in the next stage. So right there, as you can see, the door is open, which normally it's not. As you know, Trevelyan locks it behind him as he proceeds, and this is a really big benefit for this run on this level. You know, which also includes the doors in here, which normally you need key cards to be able to access any of this here. Alright, so we're just gonna ignore the turret. Run to the end of the level. Great elevator music. Okay, so last level of the game with Cradle. It's finally time to settle the score with Trevelyan. So we're gonna grab some body armor and we're gonna start running after him. But first, we're gonna get an MP5 from this guard over here. So two objectives you need to do are destroy the controls, managing the antenna, and of course to settle the score by taking him out. Except, you know, Alex got iframes right now, so I could shoot at him, but it'd just be a waste of ammo. There are only certain areas where he's vulnerable, which we're gonna wait for that. Alright, so there's the controls to the antenna. And Alex is gonna be waiting at the bottom here, and we're gonna start shooting at him. Now, if you get really lucky with the gunfire, you can actually get a quick ending, meaning he'll just run directly to the bottom of the antenna. But it's, like I said, you gotta be really lucky with how much damage you deal to him in a short amount of time, which I'm gonna try again here. Yeah, I don't think I got... Oh, I did get it. Nice. Yeah, normally this would be a, you know, chase across the level and guards shooting at you every 5 seconds, and, you know, this just makes it a lot faster. Alright, so time's gonna come up once it starts to fade to black, after defeating Trevelyan. And... time. Alright, so Trevelyan is gone, saved the day, right off into the sunset with Natalia in tow. So that was GoldenEye on Agent difficulty. Like I said, I've gotten to learn to run this game earlier this year when it was made available on NSO, and I hope you all enjoyed the run, and hope it's in consideration for Games Done Quick, and enjoy the rest of your day.